Merry Christmas, Danvers Church of the Nazarene family. Welcome to Let's Talk Pastor. What are you talking about today? Is episode 20. I've not been able to join you for a couple of months due to various reasons, but I'm happy to share this time with you a little bit. Um, how have you been doing? This is the Advent season. I pray that all is well with you and your family, your ministries, your business, your work, your studies, and I'm happy to share this time with you. I did want to share with you some things that are going on at the Danvers Church of the Nazarene that you may be interested in. As you know, we're in the Advent season, and we have our Christmas Eve service coming up on the 24th at 6 p.m. In the sanctuary, and we would love for you to join us for that service. Also, in the upcoming month of January, we are starting up a small group. We're going to be going through a book called The Broken Way by Anne Voskamp. It's going to be around a 10-week intensive, going through the book, The Broken Way, together as a group. There'll be a potluck and a time of discussion together. I would love for many of you to sign up and join in, carve out that time. I know the winter time can be a little bit difficult to get out and about, but it is going to be an in-person time of gathering together. So I would love for you to be involved in that. On Friday nights, we'll meet and go through around 2 chapters every time we gather and figure out what God is communicating to us about the way of life through brokenness. Many of us experience brokenness in many different forms. And as I've been reading the book, I've been blessed myself. One of the phrases that came to me and touched my heart was, "Shame is a bully, but grace is a shield. You are safe here." And my extension to you for this season is that you would be found safe in community at the Danvers Church of the Nazarene, found safe to be able to share and to grow in the knowledge of Jesus. And brokenness doesn't have to be just something that hurts us, pains us, haunts us, but it could be the glimmer of light and hope that God wants to shine through into our souls. And so I would, encourage you to think and pray through if I can commit to that 10 weeks of intensive small group time. And in those small group times, I believe God's going to work powerfully in you as we share of what God is doing. Uh, in my life, I've had some health setbacks in the past couple of months. During my time coming back from a trip to Malaysia, I had these heart palpitations that I couldn't control, and it was pretty painful. I needed to get it checked out. I kept on forgetting. It would come on and off, on and off. And finally, there was some signs that came with the tingling of my left arm. And on a particular Sunday, about a month ago, I had some tingling on my left leg as well. And so I knew that I needed medical attention. And by God's grace, I was able to drive to the emergency room and receive some treatment. Now, they were very surprised at my symptoms. My blood pressure was super high. They found that my numbers were off the charts high. So they were afraid it could have been a heart attack or a stroke or any of those things. So they checked my brain, CAT scanned my brain, X-rays. I eventually took an MRI as well, and they're still trying to figure out what's wrong. And they haven't come to a particular, a specific diagnosis, as it were, to why I had this heart palpitations. But by the grace of God, what they have wanted me to do, the medical staff want me to maybe have a different lifestyle, diet and exercise. And they told me, don't get stressed. Don't let stress get to you. And life is such that we can't live without stress, but at the same time, how do we deal with stress and the forms of pressures that come our way? And so I've been trying to get more in tune with my body and getting in tune with how I can overcome these pressure points. And it's true that the workload, the ministry, it's been a little bit of a strain. We had at one point five people pulling in the same direction. Now we have two people going in that direction, and so the workload is high and the burden is real. But I do trust that God will help us to overcome, and sometimes less is more too. In finding my limitations and being able to let go and let God and all of those things. So, just to give you an update, I am feeling a lot better, but I am trying to work on more healthier routines. And especially with these winter months, it's difficult in New England to get out as much. So, I've actually recruited some people in the church to help me to get more fit. And so I've been playing a little bit of table tennis at the church building, which has been a joy and a pleasure to do. Um, but all in all, it was a little bit of a scare. It was a little bit of a scare to have those physical setbacks. But I actually found great gratitude in the fact that God wanted me to really reflect on my routines and lifestyles, my habits, and the things that I do and I don't do in terms of exercise and workout and things like that. And it was a warning sign to help me propel me forward so that I can do ministry. By God's grace, have longevity in ministry. I'm still young, 42 years old. Have a little couple of gray hairs growing, but that's a sign of wisdom, I guess. Um, but I'm grateful for that. Oh, here's Brenda. Hi, Brenda, replying. Guilty, but I'm grateful for a pastor who loves his staff enough to go and heal. Continued prayers, my friend, for your health issues. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda. Of course, of course. Ministry is important, but people are more important. And of course, we want the best for Brenda. And she's not going anywhere. She's still with us, thriving as a member of our church. And I'm excited for what God has in store for her. But going back to that quote that I read from the book, shame is a bully, but grace is a shield. You are safe here. I really believe that our church family, our church, is a place where you can feel that safety, where we can grow. Even through the brokenness of life. Perhaps people have discounted you, people have thrown you under the bus. They said, there's no hope for you. You can't do this, you can't do that. But my prayer is that our church would be a place of rest, rejuvenation, for you to recharge and to grow in the likeness of Jesus and to overcome. Any of the brokenness that has weighed you down, but that could be a gateway into freedom. Perhaps your grief, your experiences of pain and trauma could lead to you receiving that healing first and then passing it on to other people. I know this Christmas season can be very difficult for some people who have lost loved ones, and it's your first Christmas without those loved ones who have gone on. And for those people, I want to say, I hear you and I ache with you. It's the same for me as a pastor. There are people that have graduated to glory that I miss. And yet, I believe God calls us to grieve, but not without hope, right? And as these seasons come, Christmas, Easter and Thanksgiving, all of these things come. My prayer for us is that we would receive the invitation to find rest and recharge and to go forward. And so that quote is very good for me. Don't let shame bully you. Don't let guilt bully you. Don't let past pains just wield its power over you, but rather receive that grace God has given us and use it as a shield. Use it as a shield against trauma, against all of those things. And that's my encouragement to you and for me in this season of where I'm finding myself being challenged in many different ways, as I've expressed health issues and ministry. And on top of that, studies ongoing as I'm pursuing my degree, and it's not easy, but I trust in the Lord. I trust, and I found great hope and great joy as I've been able to let go of these things and relinquish these things to the Lord. And I pray that you would be able to do that too. When deep pain comes your way, relinquish it underneath the cross. When deep memories come your way of hurt and trauma, lay it down at the cross. And, this is the best season for it, Advent, as we live in expectancy, as we live in that thrilling hope of Jesus' first coming and also the hope of his second coming. This is a good season, especially for those living here in New England. Some of these dark nights, it's a good time to reflect, to meditate on the word, and to grow in prayer and meditation, and maybe spending that time to be able to say, Lord, if you have anything that you want to share with me, I'm here, I'm listening. I'm here, Lord, speak to me, for your servant is listening. So let's be reminded that God's love for us does not change, that he loves us with a limitless, boundless love, and he is propelling us forward. And so there are many ways that you can get involved. We have our Sunday night prayer times at 6 p.m. We have our early morning prayer times on Zoom at 5:30 a.m. every day. We have our Wednesday night service that you can get plugged into at 7 p.m. You can get plugged into a small group, like I mentioned before. Many ways to do things. And so let me just invite you in to this one phrase that shame is a bully, but grace is a shield. You are safe here. Find safety in the Lord. Find safety in the house of the Lord. Um, yeah, I pray that you will join us for tomorrow's worship service at 10 a.m. And I'm so glad that I can connect with you in this way. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat. And my prayer is that through this season of Advent, that we will draw nearer to God and experience His nearness drawing nearer to us. Whatever situation, whatever position or pressures you face, remember this: shame is a bully, grace is a shield. You are safe here. All right, everybody, have a good, restful evening. Take good care. Bye for now.